What's the biggest mistake companies make when building a sales team?
The biggest mistake companies make when building a sales team is
Do you believe in the quote, hire fast and fire faster?
1000%. 1000%.
And why do some people at the beginning they sells more and after a few months they're like, okay.
Because certain things started happening at work that we don't agree with anymore.
Why do some salespeople keep missing the target even when they are trying hard?
The guy who's struggling hard and not getting any results, they just need some skill, they need training.
Do you think what is important, skill or experience?
Skill is super important.
How do you get salespeople motivated when they are just listening rejections? No.
The only reason people get rejected is because
2019 I have started the sales and I have faced many rejections and I took it personally. And then I was actually committed. Now I need to do this. I need to prove it myself. What one habit of a top salesperson that don't follow? What is the one thing you wish every founder or a salesperson or a team leader understood about building a high-performing team? Welcome back to another episode of Business Banking and Beyond, where we get you into the stuff most people only talk about behind closed doors. Today's episode is for every business owners like me, team leaders, and even the individual salesperson who are ever wondered. Why is our sales team struggling when our product and service is actually great? If you have been there, you are not alone. And if you are there right now, you are in the right place. Sales can be one of the most high-pressure department in any company. Targets are tight, motivation dips, and let's be honest, sometimes even the best teams lose their sparks. So to cut through the fluff and get straight to the point, I have invited someone who doesn't just talk sales. He fixes broken sales team. He is a sales coach who brings strategy, structure, and just the right amount of sarcasm. I have even brought him into the work with my own team because yes, we are ready to level up too. So let's get into it. Today's topic, why most sales team fall and how to fix it. Coach, welcome to Business Banking and Beyond, and thank you for joining us today.
thank you so much for having me. I'm super honored that you think well enough of me to have me here.
Okay, Paul. Why do most sales team fails when the product and the services are too good?
That's a great question. The easiest answer, the simplest answer to this question is that they're not fully committed. They're not fully committed to get their product in the hands of the customer. And so when they run into any sort of challenges, any rejection, they take it personally. And because of that, they give up. And that's a direct sign that their commitment is very weak.
I know I have faced this actually. I have faced this personally because I started sales very late. You can say 2019 I have started the sales and I have faced many rejections and I took it personally.
Yes.
And then I was actually committed. Now I need to do this. I need to prove it myself.
There you
that,
go.
okay, I can do it.
Yeah.
So I know what you are saying. It's related to me. Like I also took it personally. But rejection, normally people take it personally.
Yeah.
So how to deal with that salesperson who is taking it personally? Because they are not going to challenge themselves. They are going to challenge the job what they are.
That's true.
So
That's
how
true.
you're going to fix that issue? I mean, when they are taking it personally.
Yeah. The only reason people get rejected is because they don't have enough options. Okay. So I only feel rejection when I'm depending on a few things. If I have 2 or 3 clients, I've sent out a proposal, one says no, it hurts.
Exactly.
If I have 20 clients and even 10 say no, okay, so what? I got 10 more. And so the medicine for rejection is to always have a full pipeline.
Okay.
That means every day you do prospecting calls. Every day you're reaching out to people. Every day. One of the top books I've ever read from Grant Cardone, Sell or Be Sold, where he says prospecting should be a 3 to 4 hour daily activity. The top salespeople, 2 hours minimum. But every other person in the company, 3 to 4 hours, you're reaching out, because once your pipeline is full, rejection disappears. When your pipeline is not full and you're depending on just 3 people, everything hurts.
That's true. That's true, actually. Okay. What about the common frustration, what everyone can relate to is just that to understand the exact problem what salespeople are facing. So let's go through with some questions what the business owner actually are facing nowadays. What's the biggest mistake companies make when building a sales team?
The biggest mistake companies make when building a sales team is in not hiring frequently. Okay, they, hire the same way that the salesperson feels rejection because they have a thin pipeline. Is the same way the company owner feels rejection or feels failure in their sales team because they're not hiring all the time. They have to have a open door hiring policy because they never want to. You never want to depend on just a few things, whether it's prospects, clients, whether it's new salespeople. You always want to have a full pipeline. So business owners should constantly be hiring because
Continuously hiring.
continuously hiring.
And reason behind the continuously hiring, if I say, okay, I have 20 staffs now and I want to increase my staff, okay, 25, 30. What do you think, like, how we should frequently hire those staff?
The thing is, with the 20 staff, 20%, maybe 25% of that staff are the only people who will be doing the work.
Yeah,
The remaining
that's true.
60% are just, they're not doing it. And so you have a 90-day rotation thing, or you keep evaluating and evaluating. Now, there'll be a point where you might stop hiring for maybe 3 months because your capacity is full, but you can always have a waiting list, but you want to constantly be looking at new talent.
Do you believe in the quote, hire fast and fire faster?
1,000%. 1,000%. Not hiring the right staff will cost you so much money. But a lot of business owners are nervous to get rid of their staff because they're like, but, what will I do if I lose this person? There are 7 billion people in the planet. 8 billion. There's people. So yeah, hire fast, fire faster. And so I agree with that.
But being in Dubai, one person cost is too much.
I
So
know.
how about that is manageable in terms of the business?
I know. That's a very, very great question. And I've thought about this as well. So benchmarks will have to be placed, right? When you're hiring people, you have to give them real expectations. Look, we're making an investment. It's not going to be a full investment until you show us or give us reasons why we should make it a full investment. And that could be a real honest conversation with the prospect. We're going to bring you here. This is who we are. You're going to have a great future here, but you have to show us that you are also committed. Does that make sense? That actually could be a hiring question where you get to see their mindset. Are they committed to paying just their bills, or are they committed to grow and become super successful with your company?
But in that half an hour conversation, it's always like, I want to grow. They will not tell you the real problems exactly.
You
So how
ask
you're
them,
going to...
you ask them why do you want to grow?
That's what the main pain is, hiring the sales team on the basis of just a paper, a CV, where they are mentioning that that's their skills, which is a fake skill. I know in this today's time also, you can just chat GPT and you can just,
I know, right?
Yeah. So how you are going to that pain point thing as a
Yeah.
sales coach, that I'm hiring that salesperson in front of me. What should I,
Yeah.
notice
yeah.
that points? What are the points to
Yeah.
actually, okay, yeah, this is going to be the
A
person.
good question to ask a new hiree is this. Jyoti, it's December 2026. Do you still work here? The person says, yeah. Why? Then make them sell you as to why 18 months from now, they still have a job here. But don't take the first answer as gospel. Ask why, and then why else, and then why else, and then why else. By the time you get to the third level, you'll get the true answer.
Why is important?
Why is very important. So you take them to the future and bring them back. It's June 2026. Do you still, let's say we're giving you the job. Do you still work here? June 2026? Yes. Why? Then you could tell if it's just fluff. Well, because I want to be of service. I want to provide value. Okay. Why else? By the time you get to the third why else, you'll get their heart, their true answer. And then you can very quickly determine, I don't like this person. I don't believe them. Or, man, this person is passionate and I believe them.
Okay. The next question. Is it the people, the training, or the targets? What is usually gets wrong in the sales team?
It's definitely the people. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, the people are the ones who have to hit their targets, and they do that consistently when they commit to the training.
Okay.
Right? So the team, the people are the most important part. By the way, that works internally with your staff, and when you're seeking business, making, like, you want friends, you want more people. And so if your people cannot step up to the plate, it's them. And that's all mindset. That's all desire. That's all, I want to do something I can be proud of. Right? I always work very hard to try to close the gap between my current reality in life and my potential. Right? I always know I could do more. And so you want to get people who are also curious about
To do more.
Exactly. And you can get that in interviews as well. But if you can get that person, they will train and they'll hit their targets. So people first, always.
But do you think that Gen Z is having that mindset of doing it more? Because I know they get tired easily and they don't have that, okay, they will work as per their ethics. So,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah, that's that's a puzzle that we still have to figure out. The thing is, Gen Z, they came
But
up,
they are really smart.
they're
But they
very
want,
smart,
yeah,
but they want everything on their own terms.
yes,
They don't want to come to the office, and then they have, like, my mental health is very shaky. And I'm not making a
exactly.
joke of this because it's really their reality.
Yeah. But whenever the manager says a single thing and their mental health get, okay,
Exactly.
now my mental health is not
Correct.
in that
You're like,
good state.
I need a day just to get my mental health together. So, but the thing is, they are passionate. They also want to identify with themselves. I remember when I was young, when I was 19, I'm over 50 now. When I was 19, everybody older than us hated us. Like, you guys are just too lackadaisical. You're not serious.
And same, we are fading.
Now I'm saying that to my daughter and my son. And I'm like, are you guys going to focus? And da-da-da. So to a large extent, we still need people, and they're the next generation. So we have to find a way to communicate with them in a way that allows them to tell us what they're passionate about, why they're passionate about that, and what will it take to not only keep that passion, but multiply that passion. So it requires a lot of listening. It requires a lot of patience because there's a generational gap thing. But I think Gen Zs are very fantastic.
So you feel that people, training, and targets all depend on the people then?
Yes. The people have to be open to embrace the training. And when they do, they'll hit their targets. Right? They always will. The question now becomes, what kind of targets? Whatever targets you have, just multiply them by 5 or 10. You're going to come up short anyway.
Yeah.
You want to come up short at a 5x or at a 1x. So,
Out of 10x.
yes, 10x always. Always 10x. But that too is incremental. We just can't leap to 10x. We have to do 3x, then 6x, then
6x, then 9x, then 10.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay. And why do the some people just, at the beginning they sells more and after a few months they are like, okay, now.
Oh my goodness, that's a great question. Where I studied at 10x, there was something we called the 90-day phenomenon.
90 days phenomenon.
Yes.
What's that?
That's where the new staff comes in. They're very excited about the opportunity, right? They've sold themselves on this great thing. They have a job.
Exactly.
They're getting a salary, the old commission. They're excited. Then something happens. Maybe they have to do a banking deal with a partner, and then it has to go through accounting, and the accounting person doesn't respond quick enough. But something happens that causes them to have disbelief in our system. And they make that thing now become the crowning thing. They now start losing belief because something happened in logistics.
Between.
Yes, in between. And then maybe they get into an argument with somebody on the team, or maybe their boss speaks to them a little harshly, and they gradually start to retreat from the goal. Now the job doesn't look that good. And by 90 days, they stop performing. Again, it goes back to commitment. It goes back to really deciding my time here is going to be worth it because my work is important. What I do here helps thousands of people. Before that, any little thing that happens that shifts their perception of the job will cause that 90-day phenomenon where by day 90, they are now retreating from the work. They're now exiting. They're looking for other jobs because they're like, I don't like this company anymore.
Yeah.
Jyoti was mad at me that day for no reason. And I just don't like that. And then it starts to build up. But it's all because they are doubtful of themselves.
Again, the mindset.
It's all mindset. It's all mindset. And it starts with them not believing that their
They
work,
are okay.
yes, it's worth it. If I believe that my work, like, look, a doctor who's not good at being a doctor will hate being a doctor.
Yeah.
A pilot who nervous and landing the plane will hate being a pilot. So if we're working
But that
here,
nervousness will go after you gradually practice on that thing.
yes, that's why training is super important, because the more familiar you are with the mechanics of the job,
Exactly.
the more confidence you get and the more self-esteem you get. And when you have self-esteem, you're confident, like Kuldeep was talking about not wanting to speak in front of you guys, right? What you should do is speak in front of you guys more and more and more, because at some point he'll just not care anymore and you have his confidence.
I guess that's a human tendency or
Totally.
something like that. If they are, sitting superior to them in that particular field, particular
100%.
field, and they get nervous.
Yes.
Because somebody is going to judge them, and that's
Yes.
there in their mind that
Yeah.
somebody is going to judge them for that particular thing,
Yeah.
whether I'm doing correct or whether I'm doing wrong.
Exactly.
That's I'm talking in like all my videos and podcasts nowadays. That's called the imposter syndromes.
That's right.
Where you doubt yourself
Yes.
normally whether I am not good enough for that particular thing. And that nervousness normally comes when you're sitting in front of, because I'm also nervous while talking to you about the sales. I'm nervous because you are better than me. I know that. So I feel nervous on that. So how you cope up with that feeling?
The best way to handle fear is to walk into the fear. Otherwise, you'll always be afraid. The best way to kill fear, like every time you feel fear, that's an indication to do that thing. Like what's the worst that could really happen? Every time I feel fear, I go right to this question. What's the worst that could happen?
That's true.
Am I going to physically get hurt? No. Is somebody going to punch me in the face? No. Like, am I going to get arrested? No. Okay, let's do this thing. And gradually the butterflies go away. And then now you become a master at it. So every time you feel, by the way, I have imposter syndrome all the time. When I was cold calling you, there were times that I was hoping you don't answer the call. Now, once you answer within 3 seconds, I'm normal. But before, I'm like, I hope there's not a rejection. Oh, I have these thoughts in my head, but I take action. And the more I do it, the less I'm afraid. So whenever you feel fear about something, do that thing. Don't add time to the decision, because adding time to a decision just makes the fear bigger. Just conquer it right away. You got off the call. It was a bad call. The guy hung up on you. Make the next call immediately. Otherwise, you have the 90-day phenomenon.
Every no is closer to yes.
Exactly. It's true. It's actually very true. A lot of the coaching that I do and practices that I do is I start my day with saying, how many no's can I get today? Like, I get excited about the no's. Now, I brainwash my mind because I don't want to
You
know.
have trained your mind in that way.
But I go, let's see how quickly we can get to 10 no's. And then it becomes a joke, a game. But yeah.
So this 90 days phenomena is just about like what you are doing in that 90 days or how it works that 90 days.
Yeah, the 90 days phenomenon is basically on day 1, you're very excited. But on day 90, you're ready to quit. And you're ready to quit because certain things started happening at work that you don't agree with anymore. Maybe I said, hi, Jyoti, in the morning, and then you said hi, and then 1 hour later you saw a mistake I made, and you spoke to me roughly. I don't like that. Now I start not liking you and not liking the job. It's nothing about you. It's all me.
Me, yeah.
But it's me changing because certain things are happening at the job that I don't agree with.
But how to fix that mentally? Either you go and talk to that person directly that I am facing this job, issues in this job.
Yeah.
Either you talk it, or as a HR or a owner, you go to that person. Oh, I'm feeling something fishy about it. What's the problem? Let's fix it. But it has to be a two-way approach, not a one-way approach,
Yes.
right?
That's exactly what it is. Because if you start seeing my performance dropping, we have to have a conversation. But it's not you preaching to me about my performance. It's you asking me, hey, Paul, what do you think of your numbers so far? Last week you did this, 10. Now this week you've done 7. What do you think of that? So you're going to make me explain my position to you versus you telling me, this is not good. We have to get better. Why are you doing this? I thought you're supposed to make 100 calls. You're making 80. When you preach to me, the 90-day phenomenon gets bigger. In my head, I'm going, I don't like this anymore. When you ask me to explain why I'm not delivering as I supposed to deliver, by me just talking to you, I'm thinking about a solution. And this is how closings happen too. You don't sell to the customer. Why is very important. Why is very important.
You have to ask the why else till they come up with their, a reply, exact reply. Okay, what is pinpointing to them?
Why is very important, but how to get to the why is even more important.
Okay.
Why first, you're halfway there. Then how, so they justify the why. Why aren't you making 100 calls? Well, because of blah, 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 blah. Okay, how are you going to get to 100 calls? That second part is the clincher.
Okay.
And when we start talking on closings, you'll see how this works.
Exactly.
Where you tell the person, why are you doing this? Why would you trust us to handle your banking? They tell you. And then, how would this work for you? If your banking was exactly how you explained, how would that help your company? Once they close the how, they're closed.
So most why is always come with the how.
Correct. Why first and how second.
Okay, perfect. And what do you think? Does hiring more salespeople brings more sales?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yes.
Okay, that's
yes
a trick.
No. Yeah.
Okay, why yes and why no?
Naturally, when you have more soldiers, right? Let me use a war analogy. When you have more soldiers in the battlefield, you have a chance to win. But if they're not skilled, you're just really wasting money. So before you hire more people, it's very important to have a culture. So every time some new person is coming in, they know this is how I behave at Dangard. This is how I behave in this company. The culture is what's gonna push the salesperson to increase their standards. So culture is incredible, right? Even just something as simple as, hey, how are you doing today, Jyoti? And you say good versus I'm fantastic. That's culture. Every time you hear, everything is at a high standard. So more salespeople without a strong culture, you'll pretty much get the same results.
I know
But
the energy what you're coming up with that
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah. So, but yes, to grow your business, you need a big sales staff. But they have to know that when I'm here, this is what's expected of me and nothing less. I'm talking from how I respond to a greeting has to be here, because that would also transfer to the customer.
But do you think what is important, skill or experience? See, I got a resume
Yeah,
just to hire one, just to interview that person.
yeah.
And he was having a experience in so and so fields, in sales field for so and so years. And now the skills are not there.
Mm.
It's just the luck when you're coming up with sales. So what is the more important, skill, luck, or just the experience?
That's a fantastic question, because what you just said now tells me experience, it doesn't mean that much unless you have skills, right? This table could have been here for 20 years. It doesn't mean this table knows anything about this business, but this table has experience of being here. So skill is super important. Not only like they have to explain to you how their skill has gotten better. A good interview question could be, what did you know in the third year of working as a salesperson that you didn't know in the first year? And then what did you know in the sixth year that you didn't know in the third year?
That's amazing question.
And they have to explain it. They can't just BS the answer.
Just generalize the answer.
They can't just generalize the answer, correct?
They want to explain it with each and
Exactly.
that's a lovely.
They have to actually explain, oh, in year one, I thought talking is selling. In year three, I realized asking questions is selling. And in year six, I realized asking follow-up questions. So they have to actually explain it. That's where you quantify the skill. Otherwise, they'll just be like, I've done this for 20 years, and they still don't know anything. They're getting the same results in year 20 that they got in year one. So, yeah, that's the difference between skill and experience.
Coach, let's talk about the daily struggle, what we people are facing daily nowadays. Struggle that don't show up, but when we see the month-end reports, we can see actually where the struggles are actually. So why do some salespeople keep missing the target even when they are trying hard?
That's the thing, though, because trying hard, is that something they tell you that, oh, but I'm trying hard? Or do you actually?
No, we can actually see it that they are calling, they are actually struggling to close the deal. We try to fix that, but yes, why they struggle too much in closing it?
Yeah, it's skills.
But they are trying, yeah.
It's skills.
Skills.
Yes. They're doing, that Einstein saying that doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is insanity, right? You keep doing the same thing and you keep getting the same results and you keep doing the same thing. It's insanity.
But we need to change it.
You have to change. And so it's typically skills. If you monitor somebody for 2 weeks, you see the effort and nothing is changing, then they don't know how to do the thing. There's also another very famous saying about they give somebody an axe to cut a tree, and he spent 9 hours sharpening the axe and 1 hour cutting the tree, right? Whereas the other person spent 12 hours to cut the tree. So the skill level
is sharp.
Yes. And by the way, skill is basically how to figure out how to get the customer's attention. Once you get the customer's attention, money will come because money follows attention. So it's something as simple as greeting them well. Just changing something as simple as a greeting from, hello, this is Paul with blah, 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 to, hi, such a pleasure to talk to you. All right. Thank you so much for taking the call. Even though I know you're busy, I appreciate that.
There is a famous saying that everything is in front of you. You just need to know it and do it.
Correct. Correct. And so, yes, the guy who's struggling hard and not getting any results, they just need some skill. They need training.
Training on the
Yes.
skills. Yeah.
And not one-time training, because nobody learns anything for one time. And by the way, if training is good enough to do once, it's good enough to do all the time. So they just got to train and stay at it, because the next people that come behind them would also be trained. And yeah, so sharpen that axe.
Nice. Okay. And how do you get salespeople motivated when they are just listening rejections? No, 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 no.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a very difficult thing, because the more you get no, the less motivated you are. Nobody likes rejection. Nobody likes that stuff. So production is the answer, right? Production. Production is the basis for morale. The more you do, the more you can do. And I'm talking making calls in a sales office, or at home with your kids, at home with your family. Whenever you do more, you can do more. So whenever salespeople run into a problem with their numbers, with their results, just add 10% activity every day. If your quota is to make 100 calls, do 110 calls, right? If your quota is to make 50 calls, do 60. Yes, just keep adding to the production. The numbers never lie. After a while, things are going to start changing. Like it's the way the world is. It's like karma. I treat you well, I treat him well, I treat her well, I'll get treated well. It's just the way the world works. So move away from negativity and start thinking about the things in your control. The best way for a salesperson to succeed is just focus on what they can control, which is time management, right? Where I studied and learned how to become incredible in sales is we're taught to break up our work into 15-minute segments.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I will talk about this later on, but like when I wake up, I go, okay, I have 15 minutes to say my prayer, brush my teeth, get to the gym. And I do a timer on my phone, and I just start producing. I go quickly. I don't spend time on Instagram. I'm doing things. Next thing you know, it's 6:30 in the morning, and I'm like, wow, I've done so much already. So production, a quick way to do it where you become your own supervisor is to time yourself.
Supervise your mind special.
Supervise your mind, exactly. Is to just
So
do
you have to challenge yourself within 15 minutes, you need to complete this task. So
Correct.
there the production comes in.
Exactly. A lot of times you won't complete it. You will fail at it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just do it. 15 minutes. Let me see how many calls I could do in 15 minutes.
But then you train your mind also. Failure is okay. Failure is
Correct.
okay. Failure is okay. Next time I'll do better. Next time I'll do better.
That's actually the better lesson, where you're not afraid now to fail, because you know that I'll do better next time. Yeah.
Okay, what are the signs a sales manager is not doing their job right?
Well, it's a reflection of the team, right? Just as the company owner cannot blame the sales team for not doing their numbers, it's the company's owner's responsibility to make sure their team is the best they can be. So a direct measure from a sales manager's perspective is the results of their team. They cannot say that person is lazy, that person is not doing, dude, it's your fault, because you created that situation. You did something in how you talk to them, how you show up, that made them be okay with mediocrity. So it's the sales manager, and the only way to judge a sales manager is their team production, right? So if the team is not doing it, the sales manager is failing it. It's just that black and white.
And how to fix that? Can we go a little bit deep into that?
Absolutely. I mean, how to fix it is number one, right? The easiest thing to do with success is to have a clear target. We want to do 500,000 this month. That's the target. Then we have 10 salespeople. So we want each salesperson to do 50,000.
50,000.
Then we have 4 weeks. Each week, we want each salesperson to do 12,500. Then in 5 days of work, 12,500 divided by 5, what are we at? 3,000 maybe? 3,000, 3,250. So every day you have to find a way to bring 3,250. It's not going to happen every day. Okay, so now we have those numbers. Now I go, every time I close a deal, what do we get? 1,500? Okay, good. So all I got to do is close an average of 2 deals a day. Right? When you do the math, you have a path to the goal. Now you go, I need 3,250 a day. Every time I make 50 calls, I talk to one person. And every time I speak to 5 people, I close 1 deal. So that means I need to do 200 calls. If I do that, I'll hit my number. It would always work.
So you need to break that target,
Yes.
that monthly target into week, days, even the per hour basis. I need
Correct.
to call that much aspect to close this much for a day.
Exactly. Then you set up your timer. Okay, if I have to make 200 dials and I'm here for 8 hours, that means I have to do, what's that? 100, 8, 200.
30,
So
33 calls, yeah.
correct. An hour. Okay, good. Take your timer, 15 minutes. Let me see if I can do 20 calls in these 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes timer goes off, you're like, oh, I did only 4 calls. Okay, good. So I need to get faster with the calls. So I'm going to do that. We're going to break it down and then start doing it. Within a few weeks, things are going to start getting into place and people are going to start getting very focused. It becomes a game. Oh, yesterday I did 5 calls in 15 minutes. Let me see if I could do 6. And then the skill of how to talk to the customer starts to get better as well. But it all comes down to math. The sales manager must know the math of the results they want to get. Because if they know the math, they'll know how to get there.
All right, now comes my favorite part. Like me, everyone wants to fix the things, like how we spoke about the struggles and the things what we are facing in the day-to-day problem. Now
Yeah.
we want to fix it. In your style, if I ask you some questions, if I say untrained sales team, what's your fix in your style?
Train.
Untrained,
Yes. Untrained,
yeah.
they have to get trained.
Okay.
Yes.
And
So
how they can get trained?
they have to learn skills. So the sales process is very simple. You greet the customer, then you start asking what they need and what they want.
Okay.
And then you pick the solution that they want. You show them the numbers. You ask for the close.
Okay.
That's a sales system.
Okay.
People think greeting and saying, how are you? How is life? Is building a connection. It's not. It's not. So people who say that and don't know that that is the wrong thing will become surprised when they're not getting any success. Training fixes that. Training gets people to realize that rapport is not about being liked. It's about being trusted. And trusted is the person who tries to solve your problem quickly. So when I greet you, I could be like, now, what can I give you information about banking services that will make the best use of your time? I say that slowly. I say it with authority. That's training. So that's the one fix. Untrained, when you're trained with something as simple as just greeting, you see leaps in your productivity. And so when I hear untrained, I'm like, you got to get trained, otherwise you keep wasting money. Meanwhile,
True.
your competition is moving past you.
Yeah. So for untrained, is a train is a good things to
That's it.
fix it up.
Yes. And even just a smile like this, you got to train this.
Exactly. Do you feel the energy is more important when you're talking to the customer?
100%. Sales, to a large extent, Jyoti, is just a transfer of energy. That's what sales is. Sales is me having a strong conviction that I'm the best option for you. And then
First, you need to have a confidence that you are the best in that.
correct. First, I have to believe it.
Yes.
So my mindset has to be strong and I have to believe that nobody would look after you better than me. Nobody. So let's work together. And you will be like, I don't trust Paul. If I just say it enough, you'll start looking at me and going, you know what? Maybe I could trust this guy. That's sales. It's just transferring energy from you to me to you.
Okay. And if I say low closing rate, what's your fix in that?
Commitment. Yeah, commitment. We are committed to win in business. And then the question becomes, how do we win?
Yes.
So everything starts from that. I'm committed to take care of my family. I'm committed to stay healthy. Somebody who's overweight, for example, and they're like, I'm tired of being overweight. I want to lose weight.
Exactly.
The first thing is commitment to lose weight, right? So, yeah. So low closing rate, commit to have a high closing rate. Then you start discovering, how do we do this? And then the skills and training comes.
Manifestation comes with attention and
Ooh, I like that.
intention.
An intention.
Yes.
Exactly.
So if your
Exactly.
intention are clear, if your attention is there, then you will achieve that particular
You'll be
number.
manifested.
Yes.
100%. I'm going to copy that from you. Manifestation comes from attention and
And intention.
I like that. I like that.
Thank you. So if I say blame game in a meeting, what's your fix in that? Because normally people do that blame.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. So the way you fix blame is you take full responsibility for everything. The moment you start blaming anybody, you're basically saying you are helpless with your life. You're not in control of your life. Every time I blame another thing or person, I'm basically saying to myself, well, I don't have the power to change things. You are the reason I'm in this position. Meanwhile, I created that position. So the first thing you do is you take full responsibility, like you actually believe it. Hey, I spoke to the customer. They said yes. Now they ghosted me. You know what? That's my fault. And I take full responsibility. Just saying that in and of itself gives you control of the next step. So blame game, the way you kill it is you take full responsibility. I'm sitting over here, this microphone catches on fire. I did something to cause it. Even I didn't do anything, but why didn't yours catch on fire? Why is mine catching on fire? I did something. So I take full responsibility. And the moment you start wiring your mind to think like that, you are in control. So that's how blame works. Don't shift it. Embrace it. It's my fault. That's a next level mindset stuff.
Yes, actually, because if I just, sales is all about like related to your day-to-day activity, how you are training your mind now.
Mm-hmm.
So in normal days also, if you see, I am not happy because of this reason, you are not happy.
Correct.
Your mind unconsciously saying you that you are not happy.
That's it.
And nowadays, the people are not taking that responsibility to understand themselves. Okay, because of this reason, I need to just train my mind to have a proper mindset, to have a positive mindset to do
Yes.
that work. So nowadays, people are not ready to take that responsibility.
Yeah. The thing is, there is a shortage of those kind of people. And the ones who embrace it will be the most successful, make the most money, and be the happiest. Because the culture now is point to you, point to him. It's not my fault. He should have done it. But the one who goes, no, I did something to create this thing. I'm calling, I'm doing 300 calls, but I'm getting no deals. It's my fault. No, but you made all the calls. I know, but it's still my fault.
But they say, no, your data is not right.
Exactly. The leads
Your
are terrible.
data is not right.
This company doesn't work.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
everybody have the same data, but they will blame your company and your data on that,
100%.
right?
100%. And it's like a freeing thing. Once you embrace this, you free yourself. You're not.
You are open to learn more on that. Yeah.
And in fact, you're happier.
Actually, that's a normal people. They are not happy because they are not actually accepting it that, okay, the problem is within me. I need to fix it myself.
Yes. It's too much. I know nobody likes accountability, even me. Before I came back from the US, I had one of the most intimate conversations with my mother my whole life. We went deep. There were tears, both of us. And my mom is like my girlfriend. Like her and I are this close. And we had this conversation and she held me accountable and I hated it. I was like, no, don't bring that up. And in the end, I was like, you know what? It's my fault. I take full responsibility for that thing that I did.
Acceptance is must.
Exactly. So, and I held her accountable too. And she also tried to wiggle her way out of it. But I was like, just accept it's your fault, Mom. So
Then she
it's a hard
ignored
thing. Yeah,
immediately.
she accepted at the end, we were crying and so on. And it was like, okay, it's my fault. It's my fault. No, it's my fault.
Okay. Have you ever seen as a sales team totally turns thing around?
100%.
After the
Absolutely.
trainings or after the mindsets, it
Yes.
turns around. Like, have you faced any change?
Absolutely. Once people start feeling good, right? Because that's what we want. The fear of pain drives us away, and pleasure, like the fear of loss is bigger than the gain of joy, right?
Actually,
Yeah, we're more afraid to lose than we are to win. So once you make people feel good and let them know that this is not that hard, you just have to accept in your mind and your spirit that you are capable of doing this. Minds start to change. It starts to change. And within 90 days, I've seen stuff that magic has happened.
90 days.
90 days. 90 days of continuous presence, gradually getting people to move. Then the team starts to speak among themselves. Then maybe somebody starts to get results. They start going, how are you doing that? Next thing you know, it starts to change. And it always happens. It always happens. There'll be one or two team members who have already given up, right? They're already looking for a way out. Because
Can you fix them through?
yeah, so sometimes it's too much. You don't even want to fix them. You just be like, look, it's not working for you. But there are a lot of people who also want to get fixed. But yes, I've seen that will happen, and it happens when people start to feel good. When they start having control.
Any of your experience, personal experience, you would like to share?
Oh yeah. So I came to Dubai because I was coaching a team here that does company setup. They're nothing like you guys. They do maybe 40 deals a year at the time. And when I worked at my former company, they were part of the team there. And I started coaching them. And we just worked on how they present their product, how they show the customer the product, and how they ask questions through the presentation versus talking about it, right? We'll get there too, actually. And their sales went from about 5 deals a month to about 15, 18 a month. And everybody felt great. And then the lady started telling me, come to Dubai, you have to move to Dubai. That's how I ended up coming to Dubai. Because she was like, if you can do this here in Dubai, you'll be so good. And when I met them, they kept firing people. Every month, there'd be a new team. Every month, a new team. And finally, they had a stable team because they just started, training. And they started feeling good. They started realizing, oh, this is not that hard. I just have to know how to ask the right questions. So all this comes down to just getting better skills and then doing it over and over and over.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are those right questions you would like to?
An easy question when you start a presentation, it should be, let's say we look out 1 year from now. What will make this decision the best decision you've made as it relates to moving your company to Dubai? Now you make the person talk beyond price. They start talking about value. Let's say we go ahead and we look out a year from now. What will make this decision the best decision you made? They'll be like, well, if I'm able to have a global presence, that would be great, and then you go deeper, but why? What, and why haven't you done it up till now? Why is now the right time to really invest into this? They're closing themselves. Then you go, okay, this is what you're going to have to do to get a global presence. When we register you here, we'll have agreements, non-taxable agreements with this kind of countries. So that means you don't have to worry about you. Then you pitch. But most people start with pitching.
Pitching
This is
first.
what we do. This is how we could help you.
Exactly.
And you don't really know what's most important to them.
What their problem is exactly.
What their problem is.
Okay.
It's like a waiter. This is the menu. Do you want lamb? Or instead of going, the last time you came to this restaurant, what did you enjoy the most? Or the last time you had Lebanese food, what did you like the most? Now they start talking about what they like. Then you go, look, we have this too. Or would you consider trying something else? Take them up in price, something more expensive. Now you're a consultant versus just, hey, this is the menu. Yeah. So just that shift, you get the customer to really pour out their heart to you, and then you can actually solve the problem.
Okay. That's amazing to know this, actually.
Yeah.
What one habit of a top salesperson that don't follow?
Always.
That others don't follow?
Yeah. Always learning.
Learning.
Yes. Always learning.
Always open to learn.
Always open to learning. Always. Every time I'm in front of a client, the top salespeople are the ones that text me afterwards and send me stuff. Hey, this client is doing this. I coach a real estate team where one of
They initiate the question for themselves.
Yes, the lowest people in the team, it's like work. Training is work. The top people in the team, they cannot wait to learn more.
But this is a hesitant what I normally see in everywhere and every people. Like, if they are in the group, they will not ask you any question. They are hesitant to ask you that questions. So how to, first we have to remove that hesitant. Then only they will come and they will learn more on it.
Yeah. People have stage fright. Is that same thing we spoke about, your internal talk. People feel like, they don't want to lose face. People don't want to look bad. They always want to. And plus, I'm learning, especially with the Indian culture, people have egos. A lot of egos. Everybody has an ego, like everybody. So,
I know in the world, 96 to 97% have that public speaking fear.
frights. Oh, really? That high?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Even they don't have that fear from the death, but they have that fear of public speaking.
It's one of the top fears in life. This is not just in India or in this area. It's all over the world. People are afraid to ask a question in a crowd, talk in a crowd. That happens with practice.
But they will come home and they will talk like anything.
I know. No, after training, people come to me and they ask 9 questions. I'm like, when I asked you, why didn't you say this? Oh, don't worry about it. But look at this other one. How should I do this one? So,
so that's a salesperson technique who is always
always seeking
to learn more.
Yeah. There's a very popular saying that amateurs practice until they can do it right. Professionals practice until they cannot do it wrong. So amateurs, once they get it right, they're happy.
They are happy.
Professionals want to make sure they never get it wrong. And that's the main difference.
That's amazing, amazing, coach. What's a myth about the salesperson that you think needs to go away? Any myth?
That price is important. Yeah. Price is a myth. The idea that price is what makes people buy anything, it's false. I'll give you an example. It's false. Everybody is a value shopper. Nobody is a price shopper.
True.
If you sold me this shirt for 1 dirham, I'm still going to want the shirt to not shrink in the washing machine. I'm still going to want the shirt to not change colors, right? Even if it's just 1 dirham. If I wash the shirt and it turns to white, I'll be angry. So that means there's value in buying this shirt that I have beyond just the price, right? The price, I'll teach the team how to do this, where when the customer says the price is too low, I show them a bigger price. Because when I show them a bigger price, the first price now looks like a deal. But we'll work on that. But price, everybody buys things for what they can get from it. It's not what they pay for it, it's what it could do for them, what they can get from it. Everybody shops like this. Even lunch. You spend 5 dirhams on lunch, you want to make sure you enjoy your food.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're like, I could have just spent 10 dirhams and gotten the other thing. Everybody buys something because of what they get from it. So the number one thing I'll say on that is price is a lie. Price doesn't exist. Once people really get that, they perform differently in sales.
What's your favorite myth about the salespeople you love to bust? So we talk about the myth, but now what's your favorite myth and what you need to bust up?
Yeah. The price thing is very exciting because once they start getting it is good. But the idea that talking is not selling is something that I really like when my teams get it. Okay.
So talking is not selling.
Talking is not selling. Talking is just talking. You have to be in communication for anything to happen. And so that means we had a very good phrase in my former company where we said, you speak with your ears. Right? Let's speak with our ears. That's listening at the high level. And then when you do that, sales happens. So I love to bring
And people always use the reverse approach. They talk more and they listen less.
Correct. So yeah, that's where you fail. But when you speak with your ears, you win. So I love busting that myth. Talking is not selling.
Before we wrap up, Coach, what is a one thing you wish every founder or a salesperson or a team leader understood about building a high-performing team?
So it's very easy to talk about commitment, right? Because it's commitment, and everybody agrees that commitment works. But if you can get if a founder can get their team aligned with their vision, everything works. They have to be like the founder's vision is, this is what I want for my company in the next year. And then that message goes through the entire company. It's reflected in how they speak, how they greet each other, how they talk to customers. The goal is our vision. We're trying to get to this place. Once that happens, that's not an easy task, by the way, but that's a great
That's come
fix.
with the points?
It comes with the what? Sorry?
That's also come with the points, right?
Oh, yeah. It
Can you just highlight those points for like the alignment, how the alignment with the vision will come?
Yeah. So alignment in the sense that, let's say, for example, you want to be the top 5 company set up businesses in the UAE. Okay. And so that goal is a big goal. And if every employee starts their day thinking and believing that we are on our way to becoming the top 5, the way they show up at work changes. They show up at 100%. They show up with their attitude and their mindset in a way that helps to get closer to top 5 status in the UAE. So the vision itself, it's like the GPS.
They follow it.
They follow. And they follow with everything. Even in the break room, somebody comes into the break room and says, hey, how are you? I'm excellent, man. How are you? It's a different mindset.
I know.
But the leader, the founder, is the one who sets the tone. And then the management and the team leaders, everybody follows. So the job is the leader's job to say, this is where we're going. And nothing else is going to be accepted except that goal. So that's how I would think of how to make sure that everybody is in a straight line and people are not doing their own thing. They're doing what the leader wants, the founder wants.
Amazing to know this, Coach. Thank you so much, Coach, for not just joining us, but talking on the honest opinion, the honest problem, the hilarious problem
Right.
everybody is facing in a day-to-day time, especially the business owners or the sales manager or a team leader, they are facing that problem. Thank you to be so honest on this opinion.
Thank you so much for inviting me and for allowing me to come and join you guys. What you guys have here is fantastic. And I'm so privileged to be a friend of this family. So yes, thanks a lot for having me.
Our pleasure. To everyone listening, if your sales team feels stuck, don't panic. Just rewind this episode or better replay it in your next team meeting. Also, a quick note, we have actually invited Paul to work with our own sales team. So we are not just talking, we are acting on it too. Because let's be real, good sales can change your number, but great sales can change your business. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hey, tag your sales manager while you are at it. Until next time, keep closing.